A big breakthrough as Hamas has accepted US President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan and has expressed willingness to release all Israeli hostages. While some aspects still remain under negotiation, Hamas has also showed its readiness to transfer Gaza's administration to an independent Palestinian technocratic body, hinting at a transitional governance model. Donald Trump urged Israel to halt bombing, warning that continued strikes could threaten hostage recovery efforts as well. He called the deal nearly done and thanked the mediating countries for their role, many of them being the Arab nations. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi has welcomed Donald Trump's proposed peace plan for Gaza, calling it a significant step towards ending the conflict. Listen in to the US President's big announcement.
I want to thank the countries that helped me put this together: Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and so many others. So many people fought so hard. This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete. Very importantly, I look forward to having the hostages come home to their parents and having some of the hostages, unfortunately, you know the condition they're in, come home likewise to their parents, because their parents wanted them just as much as though that young man or young woman were alive. So I just want to let you know that this is a very special day, maybe unprecedented in many ways. It is unprecedented, but thank you all, and thank you all to those great countries that helped. We were given a tremendous amount of help. Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East. And we're very close to achieving that. Thank you all, and everybody will be treated fairly.
All right, so remember, till the US president had proposed that peace plan, questions were whether or not it can be orchestrated because Hamas was yet to respond. It was an ultimatum that the US president had given, that too till Sunday, but Hamas has responded perhaps 24 hours earlier. Let's take you through the key critical points of that peace plan. Firstly, Hamas is all set to release the hostages. It is expected to do so within 72 hours. Israel will then be pulling back its troops, suspend military operations as well. Gaza then to be demilitarized, which means Hamas must disarm itself. Hamas will have no role in governance of Gaza. Israel will free 250 Palestinians, serving lifetime 1,700 others as well. Resumption of full aid to Gaza if Hamas accepts this deal, because remember, that is the need of the hour for Gaza. Gaza is all set to redevelop for benefit of residents, which means will the displaced Palestinians and Gazans be brought back? That's another question. But international stabilization force will then be deployed in Gaza. You're also going to deep dive into what that force is going to look like, but an apolitical Palestinian panel will then govern Gaza temporarily. The Board of Peace will be headed by Donald Trump, who will then supervise the governance panel. Let's quickly go across to Rahul Shivshankar, who's joining me live on the broadcast. Rahul, taking our viewers through all of these key critical points that have been proposed in the peace plan, is this now Hamas agreeing to the peace plan, or is this now a window that has opened up for negotiations?
No, clearly this is a build-up to what many people will think is the terms for a peace. Now, whether the peace is lasting or sustainable obviously will depend on the intent behind the plan. Already, we can see that there are differences over the contours of the plan. Everyone is not on board with all 20 points. You can agree with certain sections, but at least in this war of attrition, we've come to a point where both sides have realized now, through mediated effort, and it's a very visibly mediated effort, that war is not taking them anywhere. It is not anymore serving the ends, which is the complete cessation of, or the complete surrender, capitulation of Hamas. That's not happening unless, of course, the Israelis go in there man to man, pull out people, and pretty much execute them. So we've come to a point where both sides have realized that the war is certainly not serving that particular end, which is Hamas knows it's not going to win. The Israelis know that this is going to become one sort of quagmire for them. So it'll just keep going on and on. Now, to come to the main points that I think we should focus on, which is what will this governance panel look like that is going to be put together? Will there be a scramble, basically, between Palestinians to become part of this interim administration? Can they all agree? How will this be chosen? What is the mechanism? Is it going to be through selection? If it is through selection, will the local other Palestinians believe that the individuals who have been selected are puppets of Donald Trump and the US regime or serving the interests of the West? How will you determine all of that? So this is going to be the first challenge. Everything else is quantifiable. How many hostages you release in exchange for prisoners that have been languishing in jails, all of that is marked and quantifiable. You can see progress being made. But the other intangibles, how is the governance structure going to be sort of created? These are challenges. And I sort of go back to Iraq, for example, where an interim government was set up, if you remember, before elections could be held. And that entire regime was thought to be a puppet regime. And what did you have? You had fractionalism in Iraq. You had the beginnings of another kind of insurgency, a lurch for power, where it became almost impossible to govern Iraq. There was the conditions for a civil war. Now, one would have to think that the PLA, for example, that has been confined to the West Bank, and the Hamas that had once sort of usurped power after 2006-7 in Gaza, they were completely at loggerheads. Those elements will still remain.
Okay.
Yes, the Hamas, the militarized Hamas cadre have been asked to leave, but there will be people sympathetic to the Hamas movement who will still be there. Now, will they be able to sort of come together, reconcile their differences, and sit at a panel and look at each other in the eye without suspecting each other's motives? It's a big question mark. Who picks? I mean, why would anyone want Trump to be around in a sort of neo-colonialist manner, fostering the conditions for democracy and all sorts of other experiments which may actually not conform to the stereotypes or even the expectations or the aspirations of Palestinians? So, there are these fundamental problems which have to be overcome.
Make informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC-TV18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV18 on all the social media platforms.